Are we severely affected by climate change because of environmental issues? Our climate is changing globally 1.7% increase in temperature is according to NASA statement. In centuries, we are in 30 degrees centigrade. Next century, there might be 33 degrees centigrade. Naturally, it occurs. There was an observation in north of Africa. The temperature was 48 degrees centigrade. Can we survive in 48 degrees centigrade? Currently, you are in 26 or 27 degrees if you are in Bangalore. Can you sustain in 48 degrees centigrade? What happens if 48 turns to 50 degrees centigrade? If it slowly moves on, so life cannot exist. That is the climate change issue. This will happen due to environmental issues. This is being monitored by the NASA, and 1.7 degrees centigrade was increased late 19th century. We are in 20th century. In late 19th century, it was being observed, and which directly linked to reduction of Arctic ice. The ice glaciers are depleting by 13.3%. What will happen if the ice is been melting? Slowly the water in the ocean will get increased. Those places are nearby sea. Example, Mangalore. Mangalore is nearby sea. What happens? The ice will melt, then slowly the water will rise, and that water will rise into the land. So these things are happening, and we can see severe rainfall, and even in Bangalore we suffered due to less rainfall. So climate change happens due to the environmental damage. Do we suffer due to loss of biodiversity? We are not only the people who live here, we are one among the people who are living here. How many species are living? It has been given here. Animals. We are not only the people in earth, there are animals, plant and microorganisms along with us are parallelly living. What happens if we are improving our living? Imagine in 18th century we were 90 crore. Throughout the world, if you take the population statistics throughout the world, we are 90 crore. Late 18th or 19th century early. But now, what is India's population alone? More than 120 crore. You think globally we were before 200 years back, we were around 80 crore people. Now currently even India is nearing 120 crore. Now what happens in 22nd century, we will be around 800 crores of people who are living in this planet. So India is alone having 130 crore of people. Throughout this planet we will be having 800 crores of people. Now we are expanding. What about plants, animals, microorganisms? Wherever we go, are we carrying those kingdoms? No, we are not carrying. We are throwing apart from our circle. You look into provisional store, there will be a problem for all provisional store owners. What are they? Rats. Can you see rats in all provisional stores where you store the products, food products? Rats are the problem. How to overcome the rats and cockroaches? Cockroaches will be there in food industry or in food storage area. Cockroach will be there, and even in our kitchen, rats will be there. How to overcome this? Pesticides you can use Mortin, chemicals. People were having the cats in their provisional store. Early, if you go towards a underdeveloped place, all provisional stores will have cats. Why? Because the food for cat is cockroach, food for cat is the mouse or rats. So automatically they consume, the biodiversity will be sustaining there, and cat automatically manages the cockroaches and the rats. So the only way is making the biodiversity in a balanced manner. The same way we are making pesticides for crops. What happens? We don't want certain insects to eat the crops, so we are using pesticides. What happens? Even earthworms also die in the pesticides. Earthworm is not harmful, but other insects are harmful. Parallelly, everything dies. So biodiversity is imbalanced. Like that, when we are evolving, these things are ecologically not balanced. Some species extinction, the rare species will also die due to that, and the human activities, deforestation will happen. This is what I said. If we are overpopulated, we will make deforestation where we have land to utilize. Okay, if we are not having any land, we are going in vertical raise. So in a house, top of the house they have roads. In their house, in the top of the apartment, they have railways. Have you seen that? In between the houses they have railways. Okay, let it be that case. What happens for food? Can we do agriculture there? We can make infrastructure. We cannot do agriculture. If we want to do agriculture, we have to do deforestation. Can we do agriculture in forest? Not possible. You have to cut trees, make vegetation. So we have to do agriculture expansion, land usages. There will be having a loss of biodiversity. Now what happened since 1970? 69% of wildlife population is being reduced since 1970 according to World Wildlife Fund. So there is an organization, they give the statistics. In 60 years, what happened? 69% of wildlife population got reduced. Now, this is a carbon cycle. We know the cycle of water. What happens? The water will evaporate from the sea and it falls as a rainfall. This is a hydrological cycle. Now, carbon is also having a cycle. So what is carbon cycle? How does pollution happens in the ozone layer or in the atmosphere? Because of fossil fuel burning. So the fossil fuels are being burnt and carbon is being exhausted. All the carbons are accumulated in the atmosphere. Now let us dive into deep of the carbon cycle. Now what happens? This carbon is not only going to atmosphere. What is the respiration for a plant? How does plant respire? Respire by oxygen or carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide. Plants need carbon dioxide. So if you want to reduce carbon dioxide, what you can do is, one way is stop industry. The industry will manufacture. While manufacturing, they need energy. How to get energy? By using two types of energy. What are they? Renewable, non-renewable. As of now, we are using non-renewable source more, but renewable less. What happens? We are burning coals. We are bringing up carbon dioxide. So we cannot stop the industry or development. We have to plant more trees. What will happen? Indirectly, they consume the carbon dioxide and the carbon cycle will go on. So you can see in atmosphere, some part of CO2 is being taken by what? Assimilation by plants and animals. If you are planting more trees, that is one of the part of assimilation. And another way of assimilation is assimilation in soil. Have you heard about soil which is having carbon more than 2 times? Imagine in atmosphere, if you are having 100 kg of CO2, in soil you have 200 kg of CO2 naturally. So soil has more accumulation of carbon than the atmosphere. What happens if the trees and animals die? Decompose into the soil and it becomes a fossil fuel. What are the next stages? It becomes a peat. If the soil leaves and the dead animals will become peat. After peat, what it will become? It will become coal, and further process it will become oil, and after oil we will pump it. Yes or no? We will pump it and use it as petroleums, and we will use for industrial process. So this is the soil process. Soil is also under a process. Whatever is kept in the soil, it converts into peat, all organic matters, not inorganic matters. Organic matters are taken into peat and it further goes into coal and oil. Further, we will be using this in industry. Now, even this carbon dioxide is being consumed by the oceans. Have you heard about this? Does ocean consume carbon dioxide? Have you heard about this? This is the another part of carbon dioxide assimilation. What do you mean by assimilation? Consumption. Okay, who consumes that carbon dioxide in ocean is? Have you heard about this? Phytoplankton. This terminology. Have you heard about phytoplankton? What is this? These are plants below the sea. This kind of plants have you seen in the sea? These plants consume the carbon dioxide for their living or existence. So we have more than 70% of water in earth. So more places there you will be having this kind of phytoplankton. So they consume what? They consume carbon dioxide, they consume sunlight. That is the food for this phytoplankton. How does it live? These are the three. They need carbon dioxide, sunlight and water where they exist. So they automatically make their food for them. Have you heard about zooplankton? The terminology called zooplankton. What do you mean by that? Yes, exactly. So see, we are having fishes. What is the food for fish? Do we need to, if you are bringing a fish to your aquarium, you have to feed. But naturally, what does it consumes? All the fish consume this phytoplankton. These are the plants. It consumes. And what happens? This fish will be excreting the carbon dioxide. And that carbon dioxide is also a sequence of the consumption of phytoplankton. So this is a cycle and further it goes. So I will not, if you are interested, I can spend some time on this. That zooplankton is known as the animal kingdom. Phytoplankton is a plant kingdom. What happens? Further, this phytoplankton also will die and it decomposes into CaCO3. Have you heard about CaCO3? What is that? Calcium carbonate. So finally, if this phytoplankton dies, it goes into deep sediments and it becomes CaCO3. What is CaCO3 is? Calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is called another form of salt. Yes or no? It is a salt. So it decomposes into CaCO3. And what is the further chemical composition of CaCO3? What happens after CaCO3? Plants die and they become calcium carbonate, and after calcium carbonate what it will further become? Calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. These are the further decomposition. Carbon dioxide then further goes into atmosphere. So this is the carbon cycle. So if we are damaging carbon cycle, what happens? We are too much consuming oil, petroleum oil. So this creates an imbalance. So that is called ecological imbalance. So this is for your example. So this is what I said. Phytoplankton is what? Plants. It consumes CO2 and zooplankton consumes phytoplankton, the sinking and suspended particle of carbon. Now, this is what I said, carbon storage. Carbon is not only stored in atmosphere, carbon is stored in the soil. Okay, in which soil you have more carbon? This is a carbon storage, tons of carbon per hectare. Now, if you take this vegetation, this is what I said, the soil contains almost twice as much as the carbon at the atmosphere, living flora and animals combined. Okay, in which part of soil you have more carbon? Let us see. Boreal forest. Have you heard about this terminology, boreal forest? These are different places in the earth. They have in boreal forest, you have 64 tons of carbon per hectare. Now, let me explain with this. These are the places of boreal forest. What is boreal forest is? A thick, dense ice. where you will be having thick dense ice kind of forest. This kind of forest where you can see northernmost polar regions, Arctic, Antarctic, these kind of places, you have boreal forest. In these places, the soil contains more carbon. That is why if you are drilling offshores, if you are drilling more carbon, if you are drilling in this kind of area, you will be getting more oil. If you are drilling oils in tropical savannas, you will be not getting carbon. This kind of area, this is natural. And what is the next highest carbon storage availability? This is 64. Tropical forest region has how much? 123 metric ton of carbon in the soil. So what is tropical forest? Can you see tropical forest here? Tropical forest is Amazon in Brazil is an example of tropical forest. Why? The plant dead and decay, they become carbon soon. So that is why more carbon is available in tropical forest region. The same way, tundra forest, Tundra. Have you heard about this tundra forest region? This region will be like this. Tundra forest region. Himalayan region. In Himalayan region, if you go, the place will be like this and you have less amount of carbon. So this is for your understanding. Now, loss of biodiversity. I have told you. In 18th century, you have 9 billion. This is what I said. What is 9 billion? How many crore? 0.9 into 100. 90 crore of population was there in 18th century. 90 crore of population. What is today's India's population? 130 crore. Before 18th century, there was in globally 90 crore of people only. At that point of time, the land usage was 7.6. In global aspect, we have used only 7.6% of land. Loss of species in ecosystem is 1.8. But currently, what is our, imagine 22nd century, we will be 12 billion. What is 12 billion? 12 billion in crores. How much crore? 12 billion, 12 into 100. Starting of 22nd century, 1200 people will be there, and how much of places we will consume? 41% of earth land we will consume, and how much of biodiversity will get lost? 17%. Currently, whatever species is living, that much of species will evacuate from this earth. So this is what will happen. Okay. Now, if you are looking with this, which is most affected due to our extension, due to our population? The red color indicates damaged or affected species. What is that? Earth surface. Earth surface is more than 50%. Can you see here? More than 50% of earth surface we have consumed. Now, what is in danger? Free flowing rivers are having red color. What is red color? Red color is being consumed by us. We have consumed. Free flowing rivers are being damaged by wetland areas. Wherever you have wetland area, there will be an infrastructure, there will be some development. So we are having this kind of wetland areas, and it has been highly damaged. The red colors are damaged species and blue colors are still existing. So what species is still existing? Threatened species. So these species are very less threatened, and these kind of insects are still living and not been damaged due to our development. Now, next one is air pollution. How far? So totally 9 types of pollution I have discussed, and now currently we are in air pollution. Which state we are having a highly air polluted statistics I have given here. This statistics is taken in June 2024. Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, near this part, Punjab, these areas are highly polluted. So, we are in this place. These are all in which condition? Good condition. We have not polluted our environment. As far as air pollution is concerned, what content pollutes the air? Carbon dioxide, methane, nitrogen. So these are the content. Carbon dioxide, methane, nitrogen dioxide. This causes severe breathing problem. That is why it has been contaminated. So currently the Delhi region is being highly contaminated. Now, according to World Health Organization, they have taken a statistics that 42 lakhs of premature death. What is premature death? If a lifespan is 80 or 90 years, people are dying in 60 years, in 50 years, that is called premature death. This premature death is due to some lung problem. Lung is the primary organ which relates to air. Yes or no? Lungs only respires. Due to lung disease, these people are died. How much people? 40 lakh premature deaths due to lung problem. Lung is being affected due to natural or artificial. They might be high smokers or they might be in a high polluted area. These much of deaths are being noted, and this is one of the reason. Fossil fuel burning, industrial progress, transportation and wildfires. This also creates what component? Carbon dioxide. If forest fire catches, what it will evolve? Carbon dioxide, methane. So these are the things. Next one is ocean health. We are slowly damaging the ocean. How we can know is we have this statistics. So I have taken some statistics from a sustainable infrastructure index, which is available here. You have a statistics here, Ocean Health Index Sustainable Development Report. If you go to Google, type Sustainable Development Report. Which country is more sustainable? Sustainable means it should have a good food, it should have clean water, it should have clean infrastructure, waste should be reduced, then employment should be high, like that. There are how many parameters? You can see this much of parameters. 17 parameters they take. Who takes? Ocean Health Index from their Sustainable Development Report. This report states that, can you see India? The oceans around the India is not healthy. They are giving the statistics here. They are giving 100 as maximum. If you are having 90% or 80% of ocean index, then your oceans are not polluted. Currently India is having, what is the ocean health index of India? 34.56. Our ocean, Indian Ocean, is not under healthy condition. That means the ocean healthiness depends on the following. The marine life should be healthy. What are the marine lives? If there are aquatic living beings, the species are living healthily. United Nations estimates 1.1 crore metric ton of plastic entering into the water each year. United Nations have a ocean health index of more than 70%. Even though they also say that 1.1 crore metric ton of plastic is being dumped into the sea. They are also facing this kind of issue. We cannot see 100% ocean health index place. So this is also an indication of characteristics of environmental health. Next one is water pollution. Safe drinking water is critical for human health. The industry, in last class I have given example, they treat the waste, they send the outlet to the river. So this is what the example of water pollution. This creates digestive problem, neurological illness, skin infection. If water is polluted, these things will happen, and more than billions of people do not have clean water. Clean water is drinking water. Still, we are having drinking water, but not globally. Many of the people are still lagging with a drinking water problem. In 2030, one third of people will have water shortage by 2030. Drinking water shortage will happen if this scenario trends like this. Next one is overpopulation. This is a statistics of population. 50 in the year of 50 or 2025, we are here. We are 8 billion. This is the population projection for early of 22nd century. We will be nearing around 2.5 billions of people will be there. But if you check with 50th year, we are only 2 billion of population. Currently we are 8 billion. We will be going into 11 billion of people in the year early 22nd century, which I have explained. We will consume more land and another species will get affected. Next one is energy use. What are the forms of energy we use? Renewable and non-renewable. This is currently in 2024. Statistics is taken up to this year. What are the forms of energy we use is 23% is natural gas. What are the purpose we use energy? Electricity, transportation, we use energy, then power consumption. We currently use 23% in natural gas. What is highest consumption? 38. What form of energy we use? We use petroleum products for making our energy use currently. If we use petroleum product, what will happen? It is not renewable and there are some environmental consequences. And 29 is what? Coal. This is also fossil fuel. Petroleum is also fossil fuel. Natural gas is also what? Fossil fuel. When you add these three, how much will come? 38.5, 23.1 and 29.3. How much will come? Around 81% still we consume the fossil fuel as our energy consumption. So this, even though we are speaking on renewable energy, solar panels, windmill, but we are not using till date, not expanded till date. Up to that, we are only using around 18 to 19% of renewable energy, but rest of the energies are non-renewable energy. So this current trend shows that we are using more fossil fuel, then next consequences will happen. So the greenhouse gas emission automatically will be evolved when you are using this fossil fuel and contribute to environmental problems. Solar, wind and hydropower offer way to reduce, but it is very less when you are comparing with the non-renewable energy. Weather events. Now, if environment is severely damaged, weather events will happen. Okay, I have taken the weather events, extreme weather events happened in world. What are the extreme weather events happened in world in 2023 is North Africa. I have told you what is the temperature in 2023, highest measured is 48. This is not acceptable for humans. In Italy, what they have suffered due to exceedance of temperature for 40 degrees centigrade. In Italy, there was a higher temperature of 40 degrees centigrade. Slowly we are coming. Pakistan, last year, they have been affected with severe weather, that is flooding. Due to flood, 1 lakh people has been died in Pakistan. If you check the Google news, some Weather issue news. Pakistan is being severely affected due to this weather and 1 lakh people is being died. Hurricanes in USA. Severe hurricane happened. If they take the statistics for past 90 years, this kind of hurricane was not happened, which happened in 2023. This kind of weather issues globally happened. Weather event globally happened in current scenario. Extreme weather conditions such as hurricanes, flood, wildfires. Why does wildfire catches? Due to hot temperature. If Africa is having more than 48 degrees centigrade, what will happen in forest? Automatically forest fire catches. So forest fire, drought, snow, storms. So these things will happen due to severe weather event. What is the secondary effect of weather event is 20 lakh death happened globally and 3.6 lakh crore of rupees is lost between 1970 to 2021. How much crore? Not 1 crore, 2 crore. 3.6 lakh crore is being lost due to weather events. Why does weather events happen? Due to environmental damage. Genetic modification of crops, and last one is waste production. In India, I am only looking of e-waste. How much of e-waste is generated? How much of e-waste is being recycled? What do you mean by that? Quantity of e-waste collected, dismantled, recycled and decomposed. If we are taking this much of e-waste, we are only up to 10 to 12%. We are dismantling. And in 2019 to 20, we have done some effect, but till now we are not completely dismantling or collecting the e-waste as per the waste production standards is concerned. This will create methane. Next one is high global warming will happen. Yes, up to this is today's class.